my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Please behave. I don't want to turn the comments off on this. Will there be troops on the ground in Iran? Basic question here. If the answer is yes, then I'm going to ask, will there be conscription or the draft? So will there be boots on the ground in Iran? Let's say by the end of April. Will there be boots on the ground in Iran by the end of April? Somebody had a really good question that all those American bases around the Middle East that have been bombed out, and each of the base had 3,000 soldiers on it. And somebody asked, where are the soldiers? That's actually a very fascinating question. Are they just standing around waiting? Are they combat soldiers? We don't know, right? So will the United States and Israel, be the United States, will they put boots on the ground in Iran? Will they put boots on the ground? If the answer is yes, then we will see if there's going to be a draft. All right. About a year ago, somebody asked me to see if the UK was going to have a draft. And the answer was maybe. And there was really no war going on at that time. Ooh, Knight of Pentacles. They're waiting. Look at that. There's that knight sitting on his horse. So that's military. Waiting for orders. Waiting to move forward. That knight's not moving, but that knight's ready to go. He's all armored up. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, a decision has actually not been made yet. The Lovers. Now that's a choice. They still haven't made up their choice. They still haven't gotten the word from Trump. Trump's a Gemini, and that's the Gemini card. I'm going to say that with each sword pointing, they still haven't made up their mind because of the cost and also the loss of lives. But the soldiers are there waiting. They're definitely there. They're definitely there waiting for orders. Let me make sure this is in here for you. Definitely. What's Trump going to choose? There's another knight. There they are. I'm telling you. They didn't leave the area. Now this knight, can you see the difference? This one's standing still. This one's slowly walking towards. Here's an offer. Here's an offer. Before we cross the Persian Gulf, right? Here they are on the land. Saudi, Bahrain, Qatar. Here they are in the desert. See this? Look at how sometimes literal these cards are. Here they are standing in the desert, waiting orders. Might not be at those bases, but they're there. They're waiting. They're geared up. They're ready to go. Here they are crossing the Gulf and then into the mountains in Iran. A lot of people don't realize Iran's not a desert like a Saudi Arabia. It's actually quite mountainous. And, here's the offer. Here, you know what? Before we come over, let's chat about this. So they're coming towards, but they're not attacking yet. This is, look at this. The helmets are up. It's like, let's talk. Let's talk. But we're ready. Yeah, it's a huge burden. It will be, if they do boots on the ground, this is boots on the ground. It'll be a huge burden. It'll be a new Vietnam. Mark my words. It'll be a lot of people slaughtered. It'll be a huge burden. It won't go as well as they think. They're going in blind, guys. They're going in blind. Look at this card. He can't see. He just knows he has to push forward. He just knows he has to keep going, and he can't drop what he's holding on to, which is orders. And going in blind. This head isn't upright, and it's like, hey, no, full steam ahead. It's full steam ahead. We have no idea what we're walking into. The Empress. the Empress. Now, this is interesting because the Empress is, it's Venus, but it's also Taurus season. And Taurus season does start in April, I think like the 20th, maybe 19th, 20th, 21st, something like that. They're trying to come up with a creative solution. They're they're looking at all possibilities, right? The Empress is pregnant with possibilities. They're trying to come up with creative solutions. And yeah, Venus doesn't rule oil. So I think this is something else. Venus is luxury. The Empress is luxury, comfort, but it's also royalty. And this has something to do with the Shah coming in. Page of Pentacles. You know, this is interesting. They're really trying to talk their way out of this. They're ready. They've got the guys, but here we have more sales, more, you know, can we please talk about this? You know, look what we're getting into. I don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. We can come up with some real creative ways to get over this, you know, this impasse that we have. You know, Iran does get snow. I remember there was protests in January. I thought, why is there snow on the ground? But yeah, they get winter. This will be decimating to both sides. It's going to put a lot of injured. It's going to, there might be a lot of MIAs, missing in action. This is going to cost, this might bankrupt countries. You know, I just thought of something too. Sometimes the Empress is my Europa card. There's the stars that are on the flag. I wonder if they're going to invite Europe and Europe is going to say no. Or NATO, right? And they're going to say no. Now, Five of Cups. So depression, despondency, crying over spilt milk, can't let go of the past. Is that the Strait of Hormuz? Like who's crying and who's despondent? Is it the actual soldiers or is it the mothers? You know, this reminds me of the statue at Vimy Ridge. You ever seen the crying mother at Vimy Ridge? I mean, if you can look at that and not shed a tear, I don't know if you have any empathy or feelings or emotion, you know, check your emotions. And she's standing somewhat like that. And it's, you know, the crying mother, who's the mother who has lost their son in this horrific war. And that's what this card is bringing up for me. I think a lot of people will be injured and die. I really do, if they put the boots on the ground. Oh, it's actually interesting. It showed up in reverse, and I thought I put them all upright. Surprising good news. There's the struggle. We got 2 10s here. Oh, we got 3 10s. 8 of Pentacles. I think they're thinking about it. I really do. I think they're thinking of it. It's like we have 3 10s here that they, even though the Wheel of Fortune is another 10, it's like we've run out of things we need to do, so we have to start a new cycle. And then we're bringing in, these are soldiers, and this is what they've trained for. These are masters, and this is what they've trained for. Let's quickly ask, according to this, I'm going to say Yeah. Well, they haven't made up their mind yet, but I think it's leaning towards a yes. I really do. I think it's going to be Donald Trump's call. Probably because the other guy can't speak when you're dead. Did I say that out loud? Is there going to be conscription or draft? Is there going to be conscription or draft in the United States? I wouldn't ask about UK because UK's hasn't been involved yet, or NATO, right? But let's ask, will there be conscription or draft? Just like Vietnam, I said might turn out to be the modern Vietnam. Will there be the draft or conscription? Will there be the draft or conscription? Oh, they're thinking of it. They are planning on it. They are thinking of it. There's the soldier. They haven't moved forward with it, but they're really looking at the future. The magician, look at all the yellow. That's thinking. And Queen of Wands. Who's the Queen of Wands? Who's the Queen of Wands? Is that somebody in Europe who says, okay. Oh, you know who Queen of Wands is? I keep forgetting. J.D. Vance. I'm going to say yes, guys. And I'll tell you why. The magician here is pulling numbers and names out of a hat. I'm going to say that this is J.D. Vance, the Leo. And also, I have explained before, I know he's not a woman, but he's the vice, right? So king and queen is, president and vice, and he's the Leo vice. They're looking at the numbers that they have. They are definitely planning this. This is all talk. All this yellow is thoughts and consciousness and subconsciousness and talking and oh yeah, the Emperor, the Hermit in reverse. Please don't call me names or get mad at me, but I'm going to say between the Emperor, who's the king, Donald Trump, and the Hermit. It's so funny. Before I started shuffling, I was going to say the Hermit will represent Israel. And the reason why is because the Star of David is right there. So I'm going to say between America and Israel, they're having sleepless nights over it. They're actually thinking about it. I think both of them will be on board with that. Yes. Yes. Yeah, there it is. There's the draft. You have no choice. You have to go. Page of Swords. We might hear some of it. We might hear something about it very soon. Three of Cups. This may sound, I don't want to sound misogynist or anything like that, but women might be excluded. I think we're going to hear rumblings of it soon. Little bit. Drip, 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 drip. And I think for some reason women will be excluded. It'll be all defensive. Four of Wands, the Devil. Yeah, you'll have no choice. I'm wondering if they're going to go by birthday again. I wonder if they're going to go by birthday again. That's what they did for Vietnam. And then you have no choice. You have to go. Politicians, I think they're already talking about it. And so you know what that means? They know they're going to have heavy losses. Otherwise, why would they worry about drafting? And I mean, they've already got how many hundreds of thousands of soldiers, of members. And also the King of Swords, that is a military with a weapon in their hand. It would be like a general. Could be Trump too. This actually makes me kind of sick to my stomach. Thanks for watching. Over and out.